Hello everyone, welcome to the weekly collective reading, the first in the month of August. It's so good to see everybody. I think this is working. We can check in on Apollo, who is resting soundly and safely behind me. And I'm finally a little bit more set up here, so most of the electrical hiccups last week should be gone today. So anyway, good to see you. If you're brand new here, you picked a great time to show up. This is the weekly collective. We're going to take a look at a few things today. I want to start with channeled messages, which are basically just psychic downloads, and then we'll get into the rest of this. So let's do just that. So the downloads today, and there were a lot of them, are the following. The first thing is I got something interesting around travel plans. So I would love for those of you that are thinking of planning a trip, making a move, or doing something that is going to involve some sort of change in direction. It could even be that kind of figurative approach. Give yourself time to explore all the options. It does feel like if you just wait a day or look at one other option, you could save time, energy, money. There might be something even better than what you have saved and you're ready to click book on. So do yourself that benefit of doing a little bit of extra work on that. The other thing that I saw was role reversal. So I saw people changing chairs at a table. And this can be so many different things. First of all, for those of you that might be dealing with parents that are a little bit older, you might be stepping into that role of, kind of like caretaker. Maybe you're trying to look out for them more than you used to. These things are good. They're normal. It happens as you age, as they age. So I saw a role reversal, but this also is an opportunity for some of you to reclaim power. So if you're usually the person that is waiting for approval or permission or whatever, it feels like you have a chance to turn the tables or to switch the roles. And this is very much in alignment with what I posted for tomorrow's daily, which is basically to step into the spotlight. And even if you're not comfortable with this, I got two messages, one for today and one for tomorrow, about authority, leadership, and sort of like that spotlight energy. So if you feel inclined, I feel like this could be a good chance for you to change it up and change your role just a little bit. There was also energy around sibling, or sort of like, it felt like big brother, big sister sort of energy. And you may either be playing that role in sort of a friendship in your life, or maybe there is a sibling that needs you. It felt like someone was reaching out for that older brother or sister energy. And so you may just naturally fall into that in your friend group. But if you do have a younger sibling, it might be a great time to check in and see if they need anything. Let me see if there's anything else that wanted to present itself. I think these are the main things that came through for today. As I go through, sometimes some of the other things that I need to mention will come through, but I think we got the main stuff, which is good. All right, so I'm Nicholas Ashbaugh. This is the Weekly Collective. The next portion after the channeled messages is a 7-day forecast. So in addition to all of the daily card pulls that I do one every Sunday to just give us a snapshot of the week ahead. Then as we go through the week, you make choices, you make changes, the energy shifts, and I pull dailies. That's how this works. So let's see where we're at right here, right now. Take a couple moments if you just came in to breathe, put your feet on the ground. Let's call in protection. So imagine yourself in a circle of light. We'll call in angels, spirit guides, and ascended masters. Okay, that was fun. Hold on a second. We got a few that wanted to fly out and volunteer themselves. So I'm going to take the last two. Lots of movement this week. Suffice it to say. Let me just make sure I got all the cards. I did. Okay. All right. Let's get started with the energy for Monday first and foremost. All right. Actually, I'm sorry, for today. For Sunday, we have Seven of Swords in the reverse position. So this is first and foremost about being honest with yourself. There are times sometimes where we can just try to talk ourselves in or out of something, even though you know better. In these situations, think of the old cartoons with the angel and the devil. Listen to the angel. There are things that you just know better than, and you really want to avoid stepping into the path of temptation. Seven of Swords also can indicate something in your life or someone in your life that isn't what it's supposed to be. So in the case of a contract, with the reversal of this, you get this feeling like, I don't know, I don't feel good about this. And you might pass it on to a second set of eyes or ears. They look at it and they're like, yeah, you're right, because of this, this, and this. There's a revelatory energy, a revelation that comes through when it's reversed. So get someone to look at it, make sure you're okay. Speaking of the travel stuff, make sure you get travel insurance this week, just in case something pops up. The Seven of Swords in reverse in a person can be someone who just shows their cards. They try to pull the wool over your eyes, but lo and behold, they slip. Maybe they say something they shouldn't. They're sloppy and there's a clue that's left behind. Whatever it is, it's for your benefit. So you'll either see a reveal this week or you'll feel a gut instinct that something isn't what it's cracked up to be. And I'd love for you to listen to that. This is also just about being honest with yourself. If you really don't want to do something, don't. And if you're seeing a lack of accountability, obviously call it out, but also lead by example here, okay? So a lot to pack in on today's message. Let's see how the week is starting out. So this is your Monday one, and we have stepping away from burnout. The Ten of Swords in the upright position can represent a feeling of failure or just being burned out. It can be physical, exhaustion or pain, sometimes even for those of you that might be dealing with acute or chronic pain, there could be a little bit of a flare-up, but when it's reversed, it's typically either avoidable or short-lived, and that's a good thing. Try not to beat yourself up if you make a mistake. Try not to sort of push yourself to the point of exhaustion. There is only so much you can do as one person, okay? Honor your limits. And if you need a break, take a break. And also, if something goes wrong, it's how you deal with the aftermath that matters. So just be honest, be accountable, step up. That's all you can do. Don't beat yourself up, ultimately, okay? All right. Changes are afoot. This whole deck today just wanted to fly around when I was shuffling. So we just looked at Monday, let's look at Tuesday. We have the Tower coming through, it's in the upright position. Often it represents necessary change and change that's out of your control. It's happening. The universe brings us a Tower so that we can move on. Sometimes we grow too attached or stagnant. I was in a Tower situation last year where for the second time in a row I had mold come into a different location, do the same thing, destroy all my stuff. It just sort of like, after that happens, you wake up and you're like, I think I need to try something wildly different, which is what I'm doing now. So it's what you do with the Tower, not the fact that a Tower happened. It's there because something isn't working. A relationship, a job, a habit, a living environment. You might have outgrown something, but you were very attached to it. So when the Tower comes through, it gives you permission because it's the straw. Actually, I think Monday is the straw that breaks the camel's back. So something comes through and you're like, I've had enough. And by Tuesday, you're willing to do something about that. I like to sometimes create an allusion to like surfing where the wave is going to crash. You can stand there and let it crash on you, or you can hop on a surfboard and ride the energy. So ride the energy of change. Do something with it and say, okay, this is happening. Can I somehow land on my feet? Can I somehow benefit from this change in my life? What can I do different this time to ensure that we don't have the same old happen again? So that's my advice. What you want to be cognizant of on Tuesday is if you have plans, be flexible. There might be a change. If something comes your way and it kind of feels like it's out of the blue, breathe. And before reacting, research, look around. There could be something more. So there could be something better. Sometimes we have something fall away so that we are given an upgrade. So Towers can be good. Graduation, birth, money that comes unexpectedly in a positive way, someone that hands you an opportunity. So those are good Towers, but we also have frustrating ones. They're all beneficial. They just have a different effect on us. So there you go. Be open to change. Let's go to the midweek, and it looks like a nice change after Monday and Tuesday, and I welcome in the Six of Cups. Friendship, love, camaraderie, and for many of you, maybe you just want to have some fun. There are two cards connected to children, in particular in the Major Arcana. The Sun literally has a baby riding on a horse, and the Six of Cups is usually two children having fun. This can also be a moment of recognition. We see children giving each other flowers, so this could be a peer, a boss, or someone in your life that just says, wow, you're amazing, thank you for that. they're giving you your flowers. It's a great day for any sort of meeting, date, or social activity. And if you need a break, take a break on Wednesday, have some fun. Because when you're with other people, they're going to get you out of your way of thinking and feeling. They might pull you on an adventure. It's a great day for a trip. Have some fun and let Wednesday be the day that you do that. Strategically, if you do have to work, I will say this. It's a great day to be productive. If you needed to get someone to buy into a vision or a plan or an idea, they're game if you're game, and it's really about having some fun, not making it so cut and dry. That's part of the magic of the Six of Cups, connection. They need to have a connection or it's not going to make sense, okay? And then we see more teamwork coming through, but a little bit more practical here as we get to Thursday. On Thursday, we have the Three of Pentacles, busy bees. It's in the reverse position. So in the traditional card, you would see someone chipping away at like this archway and then two people behind him with a clipboard. So you can delegate different roles. You don't have to do it all, and each of you is bringing a certain expertise that also connects to bees. They're very much in a hierarchy. There's a queen, there's workers, there's drones. They know their swim lanes, they stay in it, they keep basically a nice tight ship. This is also about learning and mastery. So anything that you decide to sign up for, a class, certification, training, self-improvement of any level, you have a chance to really benefit from it and master whatever it is that you're trying to learn. And if you're thinking of signing up for higher education, etc., this card is absolutely connected to that. Additionally, any form of writing, whether it's creative, technical, or otherwise, benefits from the Three of Pentacles. Put it into written format. And also like quantify it with facts and figures. This is a really, really good card. Even though it's lower in the minor arcana, it's very, very good, okay? Now let's take a look at what's coming through at the end of the week. We actually have maybe a payoff on this, but a need to negotiate just a smidge. So on Friday, we have Ten of Pentacles energy, friends, family, contracts, marriage. All of these are comprised within this, but also money. What we do have on this one is like a grandmother or an elder, and sometimes they hold the purse strings. Someone in a corporate environment, it could be a CEO, VP, etc. They're a little bit old school, they're a little bit traditional. You're gonna have to meet them halfway with presentations, etc. I would try to have it Wednesday when we have the Six of Cups, but either way, there's a little room for negotiation here because the Ten of Pentacles in reverse is someone taking more than they're giving. And so make sure you're getting your fair share, make sure that the exchange is even. Make sure if you're in a contract that the negotiation isn't too tight, that again, it's even Steven. This can also be family trying to project expectations, fears, desires upon you. You know, if you loved me, you do this, or what will I do without you? Or why can't you be more like your brother or sister? Or don't talk about that, don't be silly, you could never do that. They may mean well, but it doesn't always land well with you. You've got to hold your ground against this abuela figure here and basically say, this is my life, not yours. This is my choice, and this is why I do it. So feel free to negotiate for yourself. You have a chance to accomplish what you want. Someone, however, might be seeing what you're made of. And this is a day to show them that you're strong enough and that you're ready, etc., etc. Okay, let's take a look at this upcoming weekend. On Saturday, we have, well, here we go again. She's back in a different font, basically. We have the Wisdom or the Hierophant card, which is, again, tradition, expectations, but also building something. You could work with someone who is very, very good at their job or very, very good at what they do, and they can help you. They will be set in their ways to some degree, but you can learn a lot. So again, both of these days, it's the fine art of compromise and meeting somewhere in the middle. Easier said than done, but there is a lot to be learned, and I like that they use the word wisdom on this card instead of just the Hierophant. It kind of makes that card less, intangible or out there. It's a great day for spiritual development. It's a great day for you to get organized. And also, when you have this sense of authority, people want to follow. There's typically 2 followers on this card. So when you're truly in charge, this is one of the boss cards. Emperor, Empress, Hierophant, they're all very strong. So when you can own it, the sky is the limit. The question is maybe what's holding you back from feeling that sense of ownership. And finally, take a break. As we get to a week from today, we have the Four of Swords in the reverse position. You're probably overdue for some rest. Some of you might be working yourself to the point of exhaustion, but so much can be gained from sleep. When I was doing this reading a week ago, I don't know, I was not getting enough rest. I had been traveling a few days jet lagged. It's amazing that I was able to form sentences. I feel so much better 1 week later. But I can attest that, whether you're driving, working, or talking, if you don't get the required amount of sleep, it suffers a bit. So there comes a point where you should just turn off the lights and get up tomorrow and start fresh. So this is a day a week from today, where you would just benefit from doing less, taking care of yourself, and recharging. Also, it's a time to connect with spirit and source. I get a lot of information, not all of mine, but a lot from dreams. And I can tell when I'm rested because it naturally starts to come through, the floodgates open. So you too will benefit. If you have too many things on your plate, say no, push back, ask for help. Don't add anything for sure on Sunday, okay? Slow down. I don't know how many different ways I can say that. If you're dealing with insomnia or stress, obviously exercise, therapy, and just doing less but doing it better, that's the advice here, okay? Let's look at some highlights or challenges in this week ahead, and then we'll move on to the next part, which is the elements. Okay, highlights for this week. The middle of the week, Six of Cups. Partnership, friendship. Actually, I would say Wednesday, Thursday. Fantastic days. The cards are upright. You're in your power. You're connecting with others. And I think it's going to pay off even more as you get into Saturday. Challenges, Monday and Tuesday. The rest of this week is manageable. And I would also say just today, making sure that you're making plans and goals that you can accomplish. You're not setting yourself up for failure. Be realistic with what you can do. But after you get to Wednesday, it feels like the energy shifts and things start to step into a really positive cadence, okay? All right, let's begin the next portion of this reading. But by the way, if you're here and you like this, subscribe. It's good to see you. It's been a minute for many of us. And by the way, I'm going to start rolling out all the monthly videos this month. I know we took a 1-month hiatus, but thank you. I just had to get set up here. You can follow me on social media. It's always my full name on all major platforms. More information, of course, is available on my website. Here today, if you'd like to give back with a super sticker, super chat, or a membership, I will thank you as we get to the very end of the video. So thanks in advance. Plus, if we hit our goal and you hit that little target, I'll extend it and do whatever feels like, whatever needs to come through. I'll do some live channeling. Okay, now we will get into the elements. So this is a chance for us just to take a pulse, see what's going on with all the major groupings of signs, fire, earth, air, and water. While I do that, let me just clear what we've got here because I have a smaller space and I'm staying with a friend. This isn't my permanent space. I probably will have another temporary space before I land somewhere, but that's part of the adventure. Okay, here we go. So, fire, earth, air, and water. Let's begin with the fire signs and see what's coming through if I can get this to work. It's held up for a second. Hold on. Let's see. Fire, do you want to come through? Maybe not. I will go to my standby here and see if I can get it to come up. It's not working. So this is for the fire signs. We're not going to worry about it. I'll put this on the replay. For first fire signs here, we have the Knight of Swords coming through. And what this is indicating is, what's really just a question from Spirit. Are you ready? Are you ready to step into something bold, something different, something new? And what are you doing to take action? Because this is a card connected with actions, words, and communication. And how connected are you to this? It's sometimes easier said than done to just sort of like say, well, I'd like for this to happen in my life. This card is saying, what's the follow through? What's the plan? And you can chart this out. Like Wednesday's a great day also to bounce the energy off someone else since we have the Six of Cups. So maybe you could work with, someone in, okay, here we go. Let me switch it up. Apollo's coming through to help us with the fire signs. So this is a day where you can really start to figure out, how am I going to make this happen? There's no right or wrong way, but I'd love for you to create an action plan and follow through, and remember in this that it's more important for you to be able to accomplish it than to do all of these lofty things. I think sometimes we create an impractical sort of thing for ourselves. Like, oh my gosh, I gotta do this. I'd rather you just have 1 or 2 goals this week and accomplish it. And then each day step forward just a little bit more. If someone challenges you and says, are you sure? Say yes. The knights fight. They advocate. They move it forward. In actions, in communication, on a daily basis. Okay? There you go. Let's move on from fire to earth. Earth came through, good. For the earth signs, we have the Magician in the reverse position. So, Magician is a great card because it's a power card. Everything or anything is possible. But sometimes when a reverse Magician comes through, there are like 3 things that can go wrong. 1, a lack of focus or faith. He doesn't believe in himself or he gets distracted. If you don't believe in yourself, you wouldn't have gotten this far if it wasn't the right timing. So, believe in yourself. Now for the discernment. Just because you can do everything doesn't mean you need to do everything. Pick the right thing and then stay focused because distractions can also get in the way of the Magician. So belief, focus, and avoiding distractions, that will help you. And then also, when it comes to people in your environment, it can indicate someone that might be persuasive to the point of being manipulative. So you want to really take a moment and look at how someone's actions are over time. Is this a behavioral pattern? You're going to pick up on those sort of manipulative or overly persuasive energies, and you can do something with that this week if you'd like to, okay? Tune into your intuition. Make time to meditate, even if you're not comfortable doing that. There are multiple ways to connect. You can write it out, like automatic writing. You can take a walk and just see what spirit shows you on your walk. You can close your eyes and breathe. You can tune into your third eye. There's no right or wrong way. If you're a musician, you can compose. However you connect to source, that's your meditation. It's not just sitting in a lotus position chanting Om. That is a misnomer. That is a misperception, okay? You might need to get some healing this week as well because this is connected to that, okay? Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, never underestimate yourselves, especially this week. Moving onward to the air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Okay, we have 5 of Cups in the reverse position. You're finally turning a corner. There might have been some emotional tumults, some heavy energy that you've been dealing with. The 3 cups that we see spilled behind the woman represent could have, would have, should have, feelings of heaviness like fear, anxiety, or doubt. But the 2 cups that are upright represent possibilities, love, partnership, good things ahead. She hasn't quite turned the corner just yet, but she's ready. So when you start to perceive things as just opportunities, not good or bad, different, then you start to see all of the energy around it. When we put too firm a label on things, we close our possibilities. So Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, you have a natural ability as air signs to go above. This is the week to really do that. The problem is the water wants to bring you down. It wants to pull you into sort of like the moon energy. So you have to breathe, let it pass through you, and then look and see what else is there afterwards. So like from Dune, it's the Bene Gesserit litany of fear. You know, you just stand solid, you let the emotion pass through, and then at the end, you're still there, you're still standing. So I feel like you have what it takes, but there's a little bit of heavy emotions. Breathe, sleep, meditate, rest. That's going to help you get to the next portion, the next chapter. All right, water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Queen of Swords, actually you got a bonus. So the presenting energy is the Queen of Swords. She's in the reverse position. If you watch my daily, I believe that's the energy for tomorrow, you can see that in action. What I mentioned about this is she comes through reversed when we need to articulate what we want, what we hope, what we fear. Speak up. She comes through when we've been dragging our feet. What you need to focus on is there's a time and a place for certain types of communication. So you may want and need to check in with people and say, are you ready to have, like, don't even have it that way. How are you doing? Do you have some time today to talk? And even give them a heads up. I really wanted to cover this. So when you have a chance, ping me, we'll discuss. They have preparation, they know expectations. It's going to be an easier conversation. Then you get straight into it when you have that chat. So she's direct and to the point. Hidden beneath her is the Emperor in reverse. There's so many things that come through with this. First of all, I mentioned the turning of the tables, the switching of roles. You could step into a power position this week. You could call someone out on something. You could raise your hand and say you want to do something. It can be any level of opportunity like that. There could also be someone pulling the strings behind what someone's having to say this week. So if you hear something that's out of character, you could just directly ask with the Queen of Swords, where did you hear that? Or where is this coming from? Why haven't I heard about this earlier? And lo and behold, there might be someone else that's feeding lines to that person. Likewise, don't let someone use you as like a puppet, like a ventriloquist using you, because that's what I'm seeing here. Strings attached to communication, to actions. You got to get to the bottom of the strings. But ultimately, we have two power cards here, action and communication, and just basically ownership. So speak up. If you want to do it, do it. If you have an idea, go for it. And then don't back down once you've put it out there. And if you do that, again, I think you, especially Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, have a great chance of turning things around, turning your luck around. That was one of the, I'm putting a poll up for everyone. What are you trying to manifest? Because today, our special topic is calling in all of this or greater. So in order for you to call in all of this or greater, you really need to feel that sense of ownership and passion, okay? All right. We're making great progress today. A lot of energetic flow. All right, so what I'd like to do now is get ready for the special topic. Welcome, everybody. Good to see you. Thank you for supporting me through all of the twists and turns this year. It's been a year, hasn't it? All right, for those that are present today, I'm going to gift 5 memberships. This is a great way to give back. You can do that too if you'd like to. Welcome, everybody. Okay, so let me think about how I want to handle the special topic. I want to see where we're at, so I'm actually going to pull a full Celtic Cross first, and we'll go from there. All right, so let's clear what we've got on the table. And I'm going to choose a different deck for this. Probably just the lights here, because I like that a lot. And I still don't have all my decks with me yet, so baby steps as I get settled here. Okay, so close your eyes for a moment. I want each of you to focus on things that you're trying to create in your life. And I'll collectively look and see how you're making progress in the different aspects of your life. So we're looking one more time at how to call in all of this or greater. I want to see what you've already called into your energy, what you might not be seeing, and what's blocking you. So it's a lot that I'm looking at in this Celtic Cross. Okay, so we're going to start off with catalyst energy. Where are you at? What can you do to make a shift or a change? So many of you are pretty much ready to make something happen. The 10 of Wands is completion. So whether you're climbing the hill or at the bottom of the hill, it's virtually done. It's that final part of the journey, however, that it is often the most challenging because fatigue sets in. Sometimes fear and anxiety sets in. It can be anticlimactic. I did this, now what? Or like I've always mentioned with this card, it's like it's someone that runs a 5K when their body just starts to give out. We have to sometimes psych ourselves into completing what we decided to do because you've made so much progress. Why would you give up now? So that's message 1. The other thing here with 2 is you don't have to do everything. I love this version from the Lightseers because she has like an ox with her. I think it's an ox. And instead of her carrying the burden of the 10 wands, which we normally see in the traditional card, she has delegated that and she's partnering up. And remember the energy of partnership towards midweek, both on Wednesday and Thursday with the 6 of Cups and the 3 of Pentacles. You don't have to do this alone. So you're close to finishing. You can partner up with someone. And you've got this. Really, at the end of the day, I feel like you've got this, okay? So more than anything, I'm getting confirmation that you're there. You're nearly there. Don't let your emotions take you out of that powerful truth. Let me take a drink, and then we're going to look and see What's coming through at the center? And it's Six of Cups, which is partnership. All right, so lo and behold, appropriately enough, we got this in the 7-day forecast. One of the keys to calling in all of this or greater is partnership. Leaning on a friend, leaning on a peer, a coworker, a sister or brother, since I got sibling energy, or just yourself. Me, myself, and I, you, yourself, and you. Because what we have here is the younger version of this person and then the older person. And because we have a cute little pup, there's Apollo. He's turned his head to us, but it's okay. He needs some privacy with his little toy down there. Your inner child is saying, we've worked hard. We've worked hard to get to this moment. Take a moment or two to celebrate just how far you've actually come. This is exciting. Some of you also might be doing something that your parents never imagined. One thing that I did get over the couple of days preceding this reading was parental energy, and it was surprise. Like, I can't believe that you are deciding to do this, both in good ways and then also in just like, what are you doing? And that's how parents are. So for those of you that have living parents, they may be feeling that. If you have them in spirit, I think they're getting a kick out of what you're doing. So have fun. You got to live life for you. And this card is actually reminding you of that truth. It's not about being selfish. It's saying at some point in your life, you have to start enjoying it. You don't want to wait for retirement. You don't want to wait for one day. It's today. There's no day but today, or whatever, like that old song from Rent. You have to really live in the moment. So what are you doing right now to enjoy? And that includes saying I love you, spending time with friends, doing something to really be present, okay? That is going to help you on your journey. You don't have to do this alone. All right, now let's take a look at what's crossing it. We have the Knight of Swords, but what's interesting is we have a card of love, passion, and creativity to the left in the past, and to the right, a card of necessary action, but action that hasn't necessarily happened yet. So let's talk about the Knight of Swords and see what's going on here. I feel like some of you have a side quest, because that's actually what's going on. It's crossing all of this. The side quest could be good, provided that it doesn't hold you back, because that's what's coming through in the near future is it aligning or is it distracting? And that's a question only you can answer. If the side quest is advancing you, go for it. If it's distracting you, maybe not. If you just need a hot minute to relax, good for you, that's fine. Knight of Swords. It's so interesting because I feel like things will unexpectedly change pace. Since it's a crossing card, we're not really getting positive or negative energy, we're just seeing fluctuations. So things could be picking up after a period of delay, they could be slowing down, or you could just be seeing variance throughout the week. Either way, don't beat yourself up. Whatever's happening with the frequency or how fast something is happening, it's so that you can see another path. He's rushing just a little bit too much. He's running towards a motorcycle. We've got lots of fast movement. And I think it's important to look at the map before you go any further. And so whenever this is crossing or reversed, I would just say check in. Do a little check in, and then you can more than make up for time later, okay? And I think also some of you are just like, your heart's skipping a beat. You can't wait to get started. That's good. If it's anticipation, positive butterflies, or excitement, I'm picking up on it, and that's going to help you manifest all of this or greater. But there's no rush, because the universe doesn't want, when you're trying to manifest, we don't really want needy or wanting energy too much. Instead, we're looking for openness, detachment, and optimism. And they all do work in tandem or in concert, okay? Things are starting to pick up. There could be something coming at you from the side that you didn't expect. So something's diverting your attention. For those of you that got the Magician reversed, again, don't get overly distracted. Make sure that you're staying true to your promises, but you also have to pay attention to that. So some juggling energy this week. You can still get it done, just keep it all properly organized, okay? Now let's go to the deep past. We have the Nine of Cups, which is joy, happiness, wish fulfillment, but the card is reversed. In the reverse position, it can be feeling overwhelmed. Now, when I'm looking at this today, the energy that's coming through can sometimes be happy tears. So I'm thinking back to graduation where I was just enjoying it. Like, this is high school graduation once upon a very long time ago. But I remember alphabetically the person in front and behind me, they had very different reactions. One of them was just like, what's going on? Like, I think they were kind of detached, a sense of, is this happening? And then the other one was crying and laughing that she was crying. So, and so sometimes when we're in these emotional moments, it's like, this is happening. Funerals are an example of this. You might remember someone and you have this joyful memory and you laugh and then you start crying because you're like, that's not going to happen again. So we can have two emotions at once and it fries our circuitry a little bit. And I feel like some of you are having these sort of like multiple emotions. Breathe, experience them, don't judge them, see how they make you feel, see how you feel afterwards. And if it's a feeling of just like relief, then good, you needed to feel it. It's okay for emotions to be messy. I think we want everything to be tied up neatly sometimes, and nothing is as neat or as perfect as it looks on film or in a book or in a plan. Life is messy. It's okay to be messy. This is a card of second chances, because you're going to get your wish fulfilled sometimes with the 8 and 9 of Cups. So you deserve your happy ending. Set that out into expectation, like to the universe. I'm ready for my happy ending. It may not have happened before, but I'm not going to let that create a sense of negativity for me. I still want my happy ending, right? So you can get it. To that end, one of the side quests, because it was touching the Knight of Swords, could be love, could be friendship, could be someone in your life that just wants to spend some time with you, which I love. So that might be a side quest worth taking. There could also be a creative activity or venture where you're like, God, I really want to do that. Okay, do it. We only get so many windows of opportunity when passion is involved. As long as it aligns and it doesn't take you too far off the beaten path, that might be exactly what you need. We also see this cute little love note or letter here. There could just be some good news or positivity coming through, a raise, recognition, someone just saying, I love you or appreciate you. Be open to receive that, because one of the things that we do with all of this or greater is just that. So I'm going to pause quickly as we talk about this special topic. And when you manifest, the reason that I chose this is that's what I tag on to a lot of my sort of manifestations. So if you're thinking to yourself, I need this much money or this particular opportunity, don't limit yourself. Say, I need at least this or greater. Or I'm looking for these attributes or even greater. And again, another example of that, when I was finding my cute little puppy in my life, I was like, I'm looking for this kind of dog or even better. And I definitely got the or greater when it came to Apollo. So never limit your capacity just because of your imagination, because the universe could imagine something greater than you could. And that would then create the sloppy, messy, tears, laughter, joy, disbelief that we get with the 9 of Cups. So it can happen. All of this or greater. Now we have this sense of, I am connected to this. Page of Pentacles, upright position. Ownership. She's really holding on to that pentacle. I want this. I represent this. I am this. That, for all of you that got the two, that was the water signs, that got like the Emperor and Queen of Swords reversed, this is very much you. You need to own it. And I think back to moments in my life where I had to own things. This is one of them. I just finally did it. I clicked book, I went and did the thing, and I organized it, and then I'm like, okay, I did that. It was both more difficult and less difficult, and like it just happens. Choosing a school, proposing to someone, quitting, breaking up, getting divorced. They're big things, but you have to own it. I want it, I don't want it. We don't often think of this Page of Pentacles like that, but she's owning it internally. She's not necessarily speaking it externally. She knows it, and she does it. Page of Swords will help her execute on it, but she has to feel it first. I connect with this. I represent this. So what is followed by the I when it is what you want to do? What is it that you want or don't want? Really focus on meditating on that today, and then know that you're projecting out to the universe what it is that you are, that you want, that you deserve. That will help you manifest all of this or greater. But you have to feel ready, because if you're not, someone will talk you out of it. Someone will negotiate you down to a lower something or other. But once you know, no one can push you from that, because you're like, I've already made my mind up. So really, that's another way of stating this. Have you made your mind up? If not, now might be a good time. All right, near future. Again, this is affected by the side quest. We're calling the Knight of Swords on this the side quest. The side quest could be this decision that you're making. I want this or I don't want this. It could be love, passion, etc. It could be these heavy emotions. Whatever's coming through, it's moving in your mind. So let's see if I got this one upgraded as well. I have to get all my little pictures updated here. So the math meme. What about this? What about that? It's very much what we see here because it's actually on this card. So she could be overthinking, or she could be receiving an amazing download. So if she's receiving an amazing download, all she has to do is believe it and own it. And this could be a change of heart, a change of mind, a change of direction. The Ace of Swords is requiring you then to act upon it. Or she's getting more firm on what she wants. No, I definitely want this, not that, so I'm going to do this. So there's this pivot that needs to happen. Otherwise, you spiral, and that's what we see here on the spiral staircase, right? Spiraling up, spiraling down. So don't spiral. You know. Tune into your heart, tune into your third eye, but don't let all of this get in the way. You can and you will overthink it. I want you to feel it and know it. And at a certain point, stop taking counsel. Get your feedback, get your options, and then stop, meditate, think. One of those will feel okay. You don't need cards, you just need your intuition. Cards are great, I love them, I work with them, but we also have an inner knowing. And as an intuitive, there are times where I'm like, this feels right. I know this is okay. Let's do this. Because you can't always pull your cards out in the middle of a meeting. There are times where you're going to have to trust yourself. And maybe that's unpopular as a tarot reader to say that, but we're developing deeper skills. I've been doing this for 11 years. That's why I pull in mediumship and I've been doing it longer than that, but like the channel. So that's why it's important to get it to a place where you know. These are just part of the way to divine and to connect. You are all very powerful beings that can also know. So this is a moment where you need to know. Separate from the cards, separate from external counsel, okay? That's what this is about. You already know. Whatever it is that you want to do, you already know. You don't need me. I'm just here to validate. I'm here to show you why. It's very much the Matrix. Whoever developed that character, the Oracle. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm here to tell you why you decided to do it. And also what will happen if you don't do it. But like, you've already made your mind up. So that's the Magician reversed. Trust in your inner knowing. Magician reversed, Judgment reversed. You know it, but for some reason, you're not doing it. She said that multiple times to Neo. She's like, I don't know what's holding you back. You're the one, but you don't seem to believe it. So, to quote from that movie, which is a lot of fun to watch if you've ever seen The Matrix, I just want you to trust in your power and skill. The other thing is, avoid distraction, avoid overdoing things, avoid trying to make everyone happy. It eats away from your energy, okay? Also, what you think is what you see. If you think it's going to be bad, you'll make it bad or you'll attract it. If you think it could be positively good, then you're just going to attract that. So this is why it's all of this or greater today. Imagine that it could be a fantastic or a positive outcome, okay? And then it can be a positive outcome. When was the last time you had a massage? When was the last time you took care of yourself? The Magician card is inviting self-care. It's a healing card. Not above all else, but in addition to everything that we just talked about. Okay? Okay. In the environment, Nine of Wands. This is basically the perseverant card in the minor arcana. Nothing can knock it down. Whack-a-mole, Energizer Bunny, whatever you want to use to represent something that can't be sort of like beaten down or pushed away. This is your chance to come back. We see this in the environment because like attracts like. This could be someone around you that could be a partner. A little pushy, but a good partner. So like a project manager at work, a coach, if you're trying to learn something, any type of coach, intuitive coach, language coach, etc. This could be someone also who is just really trying to give you the nudge that you need. So if you're looking for that kind of partnership, it's there. You just need to look a little bit. This is also, remember for those of you that got the 10 of Pentacles, wherever that showed up in today's spread and it was reversed, let's not let people in our family or in society push us to do something that doesn't fit our template. So we don't want bullies, and we don't want to align or snap into a grid that is incongruous to what we want to do, okay? So this is your chance to, when you need that kind of push, you opt into it. When you don't, you push back. And if you failed, if you misstepped, if you misspoke, whatever, you will be fine. This is not the end of the world. It's one moment. Brush yourself off, get up, you've got this, okay? That's everything. It's a lot. But I'm seeing you, and I'm seeing your environment, and I'm seeing different people that could be stepping into your life with that, okay? Looking at hopes, fears, and opportunities, here we go again. We got the Emperor. He's reversed. So, the fear part of this. You might be thinking to yourself, am I strong enough to do this? Yes, you are. It's just a fear. The opportunity part, you could step into a position of power, but someone wants to see you what? Own it. They want to know that you believe in yourself, because to be the Emperor in the upright position, you have to believe it. I haven't watched the second Devil Wears Prada, only the first. I need to watch it on streaming. But in the first one, Miranda's a great example of Emperor energy, and not Empress, but Emperor, because she has divine masculine. She'll just kind of give you a look, and you know where she stands, right? So she's insecure, but she knows how to push that out when she needs to. So that's an example of owning it, believing it, and everyone around you is like, okay, we don't need to go to that extreme though. But you have to embody it, and I think that's what I'm getting here. And when the card is reversed, there's this question of, she'd be like, I don't believe you. You need to make Miranda believe you from The Devil Wears Prada. She needs to see that you've got this. And in that first movie, Andy eventually steps up. We don't need to see someone go as far as she did, but these are just examples, because movies and books and music, it helps. It's a common touch point. All right, so hopes, fears, opportunities. I think I got most of it. The hope here, because we really didn't talk about this, is I aspire to sit into that energy. Practice makes perfect. You start to think it in your head. You start to kind of like change your posture, change your communication, and eventually you start to embody it. So it's all there, but something could be holding you back. This can also just be a person in your life that is bossy and a little annoying, and they want to get into your headspace. And this is where you need to have good boundaries. Easier said than done, but that's what I'm picking up on. Okay, and then in the outcome, we have the Chariot in reverse. All right, so a change of direction. This is a car or a vehicle when we're looking at tarot. It's a very old sort of system that we're looking at, but when you apply it to modern day, it could be a change of direction, change of plan, a change of itinerary. Are you doing the changing or is someone else? Who's driving the ship? Who's pulling the strings? Hopefully you. If not, it might be time to pull the reins back in and say, I want this, or I don't want to do this anymore. The Chariot in reverse is also, it's not necessarily bad. Some of you are stepping away from it. By the way, I just saw the animation. Thank you for helping us make the goal for today. We'll definitely extend this by at least 15. All right, Chariot in reverse. Some of you are like, I don't want to do this anymore. Goodbye. Quitting, divorcing, stepping away. Giving up the fight, but because something better awaits you. There's nothing wrong with changing your mind. There could be a challenge, but you can accomplish whatever it is in front of you. The question is, do you want it? And I can't answer that. That's something you need to answer yourself. I'm just here creating the map so that you can make a good decision. All right, we're going to look at the extended forecast to help us see where you're at in these areas. Let me check in on the poll right now. So many of you are really trying to, well, it's great. So I feel like perfect. I can end this poll. It's actually a tie. It was a tie between two, health and wealth. Well, they're the first two of these cards. So I'll look at those in a little greater depth since those were something that you were interested in. So let's see what's going on. And we're going to look at it different because of the way that this is organized today. Okay. So starting off with health, which is mind, body, and spirit. Where are you at? I need more space. Let's just push this over to the side a little bit because we've seen it, but I want it here for reference. Okay, so we're going to start off with health. Where are you at right now? And how can you manifest all of this or greater? All right. So where you're at for your health, I think a lot of you are dealing with mental stress. Queen of Wands in reverse. Gosh, there's so much going through her mind. Inspirational thoughts, stress, managing a lot. For those of you that are moms, that are caretakers, helping organize everything for everyone, breathe, maybe delegate a little bit, stop doing so much if you can, because she's got one too many things on her plate. But she is kind of magical. She is the queen of that magic object, the wand. So all she has to do is imagine, what if? Why not? And sometimes she can see a path that no one else can. So for your health, there could be something that could take a great sense of stress off your plate. You see it, but not everyone else does. So go for it. If you're suffering from migraines, headaches, or stress, it's time to reach out for help because this is a super cognitive card. It's here, and this affects the rest of your body. How can you get your all of this or greater? Taking ownership, speaking up. Now we have the Empress card here. She's got a little bit of the world energy in her. So this could also be a matter of, I need to change this completely. Change my job, change my living situation, change my diet, change my exercise, change my doctor. Some sort of a big change, and you're owning that change because this is like world and Empress reversed, okay? Now, some other things that I'm picking up on with this card. Some of you might be deciding to start a family or start a business because this is a mother card and a nurturing card and an entrepreneurial card. So you're really doing something different and giving birth figuratively to that. I'm birthing a major change, right? So you're going to need to take care of yourself. Think of a mom that would take prenatal vitamins, sleeps well, eats differently. She has to start thinking beyond herself so that she can manifest something or birth something. So treat yourself like an expectant mother and make sure you're taking care of yourself. If you don't, no one else is going to. A couple of other high-level health notes. You may just be dealing with really, really heavy emotions. Get some help if you need it. I do see children and sibling energy coming through both in the channeled and card energy, so make sure that you're balancing out family expectations and needs with your own. And some of you are getting a wake-up call with respect to age. It could be arthritis or a familial thing that you never thought would happen to you, but it is, and you can see the markers. It's never too late. Remember, you have the Magician card. You have a capacity this week in particular to change course. And you never know what's possible when you really own it and start to do it. So now is the time. All right, more than enough there for health. Let's go on to wealth, which is resources, life purpose, and career. Let's see where you're at and how you can get where you want to go. Where are you at? Not bad. Where do you need to go? Very similar energy. Okay, where you're at is recovery. So we're looking at wealth, and it's recovery and growth. So if you're already in a good place, it's growing, but it takes time. So the roots spreading underneath this fresh cutting represent potential and also the need for things to be nurtured, very much in alignment with the Empress. So give yourself time, give yourself space. Money can improve. Health can improve. Situations can improve, but they require time, nurturing, and he's not pushing this. Don't overextend yourself. So practically speaking, create a budget and stick to it. Look for new ways of getting aid, support, or assistance. Being frugal, being very clear on what you can and can't do monetarily, energetically, time-wise. It's so important right now. But this is a card of bouncing back. How do you get where you need to be? Discernment. Six of Pentacles in the reverse position. Difficulty in saying no, but the ability to say no. Six of Pentacles in reverse. Doing more for others. You need to start doing enough for yourself. Don't give to the point of exhaustion. Think of a phone battery. If you go down to like 10% or 20% even, certain features start to shut off. The screen dims. The same thing happens with our bodies. Same thing happens with our bank accounts. You start to have less available to you. Six of Pentacles in reverse when it comes to money. You're not getting what you deserve if you're working or if you're in a relationship. So people need to show up in the same way that you're showing up. And you are encouraged and pushed, in fact, to basically not get those scales out of balance. Fight for yourself, advocate for yourself, get someone to help if you need to. But this is balance, this is growth and repair and recovery, and they're both coming through for you. And you already got the Seven of Pentacles, which is one step up. So you just have to continue to say no and make good choices. Anything is possible with the Six of Pentacles, provided that you're flexible and realistic. And that's the big takeaway. It doesn't matter where you're at in your spectrum of wealth. It's better choices and finding balance and finding equity. And if you're not getting it where you're at, it's time to find a place where you can receive that. Okay, let's look at love and relationships. Where are you at? Where do you need to go? Where are you at? Where do you need to go? Okay, where are you at? Some of you, I'm going to be honest, that's what you want when you tune in here. The thrill is gone or the passion isn't there. So we're looking at relationships. It can also be just like friendships, partnerships, etc. You may have grown into a different space or a different energy and the other partner or the friend isn't really there with you. You have choices when this card is reversed. You can find your way back to center, find your way back to each other. So meet each other halfway, try to find things that you both enjoy, spend some time together, rekindle the passion. So that's really for those of you that are partnered. If you're looking for love, don't fake it. You either feel it or you don't. Don't take the first option that comes across your table. If it isn't to your liking, this isn't it. If you're single and happy and you're looking for like, what do I do next? This is very much like really being discerning. We talked about the Six and Seven of Pentacles previously. If you don't like it, if you don't want it, why are you doing it? I really think Spirit is just, in the best possible way, giving you a little bit of a gentle shake and saying, wake up. It's more that kind of shake, like, wake up, you're asleep at the wheel. What are you doing here? Or it's tapping you on the shoulders. That's a little less aggressive. It's saying, wait. And if you want to do it if you don't. Now, let's just look at the beautiful illustration here. She's marching to the beat of her own drum, and she's attracting the same in the background. So we have like a Bronco stallion or some sort of wild horse, and she's there beating her drum, attracting that. So free will, free spirit, free energy, liberation. Also just unconditional love. That's really, unconditional is freedom. There's no strings attached. So we're looking for more of that and less of be more like this or I won't love you or something like that. How do you get there? Here's another thing. Finding a way to rise above the emotions, to see them. So now we'll use another, like, again, we'll go back to Dune. One of the things that the Bene Gesserits do is they try to like calm themselves. They don't let the emotions get in the way. So you want to find a way to observe the emotions, feel them, but don't make a decision during them. He's meditating. He's got a little singing bowl in front of him, and he's like, all right, I don't like this. I like that. I feel something here. Let's just sit with it and see if it persists. If I feel the same way tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, and I also felt the same way last week, maybe I feel this way about this. But if it's passing, if it's today, if it's just a little flare-up, maybe it's not a big deal. He's getting the perspective of the emotions, taking it in as data, but not letting it pull him in one direction or the other. One of the things that you can do also is heal yourself. No one can heal you but you. The little starfish represents healing. And also him finding a way to sit with the energy, like who I am. I accept myself, flaws and all. So really work on self-love, self-care, and self-acceptance. I mean, at the end of the day, if that relationship isn't solid, everyone else around you, new and existing, they're just reflecting back some of that. So really get comfortable with yourself. Spirit's not holding back today, is it? Okay, where's all this taking us? And then as we extend it a little bit, I'll bring us further along. But where's all of this taking us, and is it where we need to be? All right, so I feel like we need more space. So we're going to take more space here. All right, for Destiny, where are you at? Here we go again. Where do you need to go? Okay, we're getting some more clarity and a little bit of repetition from one of the messages. So, where are you at? So darn close. So it's growing, it's happening, and for the gardeners out there, this is especially for you. I'm sure many of you have planted things and forgotten about them, and all of a sudden something just pops up and it's growing. Or you've taken a trip, maybe even for a long weekend, you come back and something blossomed that you were waiting for it to bloom. When we just let go a little bit and let it be, it happens. So, the roots are planted, the seed is there, the energy is moving. Now you just have to let it happen. Be patient. Don't push. You can get so far and then it's like, let it be. That's part of this patience. The other piece here is when it comes to bouncing back, and you will bounce back or it wouldn't come through, you have to hold the belief that this isn't the end. Whatever happened, this can come through after debt, after illness, after setbacks, but it always shows that you can grow again. So whatever that was that cut you down to the ground level, there are roots, there's a system in place that will allow you to sprout back, but it will take a little bit of time. So give yourself the time and don't try to please everybody. Okay? Now it came through upright. For those of you who are like, you don't shuffle it enough. Yes, I do. Now it's upright. 3 of Pentacles. This is your moment to really just get it out there. Write it out, speak it out, do it. But this is really about executing on that plan. And you've mastered it. Whatever you're trying to do, it's done. It's written. You just have to believe it. So it's written. So be it. Get out of the way. But you also might want to get involved with a group of people here. This can be like-minded individuals, okay? Like-minded individuals. All right, so you guys were kind enough today to help me make the goal. So I want to go a little bit deeper, and we're going to take this wherever it needs to go. That was really fluid and easy. But I'll see if there's anything else coming through. I'm going to kind of pull in manifestation throughout this, even this extended portion as it needs to be. All right. So I'd like you to think of your biggest block at the moment. Whatever that block is. I want to look at the block. Let's see what we can do to help you overcome the perceived block. Let's not even call it a block. Whatever it is that makes you feel stuck, that's better. No blocks. What's making you feel stuck? How do you get past it? Okay. All right, so for many of you, you're thinking to yourself, I don't have enough or I'm not enough. So we have the Knight of Pentacles, a very good card. Upright position represents new money, new opportunity, progression of goals, dreams, and ambitions. In the reverse position, the first thing that came through is not enough. Not enough time, not enough money, not enough information, not enough. It says who? And is that the only, whoever that is, whether it's you or someone else, are you sure? What else is out there? Look at another path. Because when a knight is reversed, it steps back and it looks a little deeper. There might be a better way. This isn't the only path. What else is available? If that's not it, what else? There might be an upgrade. Also, if someone is really stuck on something and it feels like a block, then there might be something that's an easier flow or channel that's opening up. So I feel like it's on the tip of your tongue, like there's something that's better that waits for you. So you have enough, or you have the potential, and if you've had a block or if you've perceived some sort of setback, it was so that you could look somewhere else. Sometimes it takes a couple of attempts to get there, or a couple of these blocks for you to finally say, what am I waiting for? What are you waiting for? Okay? Also, you never know until you ask. You could ask for more. How do you get what you want? How do you get past this block, perceived block? 10 of Cups in reverse. Stop listening to naysayers, particularly those closest to you. Friends, coworkers, neighbors, whatever. What business is it of theirs? This is your life. I feel like there might be someone who has your ear or your attention and they keep whispering in their own fears. It's their thoughts, not yours, okay? So I really want you to focus on you know you and you do you best. You don't need someone to complete you. You are complete in and of yourself. It's nice to have partnership, it's nice to have approval, but you don't need it. And that's the big takeaway on that. We don't need to talk it into the ground, okay? Let me take another drink. I just want to focus for a second and see what comes through as I'm drinking my tea here. Okay, so what I just got was regret. Some of you are thinking, I wish I would have done something else. Or if I had done this, what would have changed? So I want to look at two things. I want to look at your current path and if you would have done that, and also like why it happened. So if you're going through regret, let me do this in a way that I can remember. Show me the choice. We'll put this as the upper card. It's not bad. Show me what you could have had. Not better. And show me why it happened the way that it happened. Okay. So what you have is good, or it's something that is allowing you to connect with someone new. So the Three of Cups typically is celebratory. But if you think to yourself, gosh, if I would have done that, maybe this would have been better. I'm actually getting Spirit give me a positive card here to say, even if it's perceived as something that you didn't want or don't like, you're going to meet someone because of this, or you're going to have something or someone come into your life because of this. So it was a necessary step, a little hop and skip sort of thing. It's not your forever thing, but it's connecting you to that. And who you meet next is why you did this. So if you're not happy, it's okay. But the next thing that comes along, very, very good. And the person that you meet because you sacrificed that opportunity, better. I also feel like whatever you didn't do was a step back. The Fool in reverse isn't really progress. It's either lateral, or it's a sidestep or a side quest, or it's a step back. So maybe it would have been more solid, but would you really have grown? I don't know. I think you're growing more with this choice. What you're finally learning is, so let's say you did something you didn't want to do. Now you know that's not for you, and that's a valuable lesson. I'm sorry, the card doesn't want to stay in my hands. I don't want this, just like it didn't want to even sit there. I don't want this, I don't need this. Good. Let it go and don't ever do it again. Lesson learned. And whatever comes next will be so much more joyful because you know what you want, who you are, and what you stand for. So yes, if you had done something differently, perhaps it would have been more stable, but you were stagnating. So some of you got into something that wasn't as stable, but it allowed you to figure out, well, I didn't want that, and I don't want this, I want that. Sometimes you need to go through two of the options to see the third. So I feel like it will still get you to where you need to be. So the takeaway is, on a cosmic scale, you're tracking just fine. But in your own mind, you're like, that didn't work and that didn't work. I must be failing. We don't see the big layout. That's why we come here, to kind of like connect and see it. So I think you're fine. I think that what comes next is good. But what you have to listen to now is, I want this and it feels good. Make those your deciding factors as you step into new things. Okay? Good. Freedom. How do you liberate yourself from something? That's the next thing that just got whispered in my ear. All right, so what is it what is it you're having a hard time cutting from your life? That's how I want to state this. Cord cutting, whatever. That would be hard. How do you release the strength card here? Not what I expected. Okay, so what is it that could be holding you back? Someone who truly loves you or knows you, and because they love or know you or both, they're not always mutually exclusive. It can be either or both. They know exactly how to manipulate. They know exactly how to get under your skin. So you're seeing through it. And you're also looking at that and asking yourself, because this Seven of Pentacles shows the selfish nature of the Seven of Pentacles very nicely. I'm getting this and you're not getting the same or whatever. So we need to really look for even exchanges. And if you don't get an even exchange, so let's say this is a job and it's all the glory, all the sort of accolades are going towards someone else. They're taking credit. Not only is it dishonest, but it's not something that's going to sustain you in the long run. And so this is time to move beyond it. You have to be honest with yourself. You have to ask for that integrity from others. And if you consistently allow someone to step in to that role of gaslighting, acting without integrity, taking more than they give, it is, I mean, Spirit is so direct today, but I'm going to try to restate it in a way that is kinder. I will say that it will not allow you to advance forward. You have to advocate for yourself. That's the way to elevate that. Because otherwise it's just, I keep getting the word, I have to say it, it's complicit. So we have to get out of the role of being complicit in allowing that behavior. And I've been in positions where it's like you just ignore it, you turn your eye away, but they're never going to change. You're never going to get past this. You deserve better. That's how I'm going to elevate it. I think you deserve so much more than a situation where someone is taking a lot and you're feeding that battery. Okay? This can also be just someone who likes to take control, and it can be anyone in your life, literally any character. It's not just divine feminine, but they have a way of getting their way. And you deserve to foster your own voice and your own sort of power. Okay? When you cut yourself from people, organizations, environments where someone is pushy like that, or unfair, or manipulative like that, then you start to suddenly, it's like you're going to take a deep breath and, gosh, I can breathe. I can finally see that. You're going to have so much more energy. So liberate yourself from that. And then the rest of this, if we just look at it on a very high level, some of you are exhausted. You're putting so much into something or someone that you're not honest with the trade-off. It's not worth it anymore. There could be a selfish activity where you're giving it more than you're receiving. Okay? All right. Let's see if anything else comes through. So the other thing, I keep getting the word listen. They're not listening. All right, so let's see why they're not listening. So someone in your life, you're trying to talk to them. I'm reading for, all of you. So some of these are going to be specific to you, some of them for others. This is a collective. So I'm picking up on whoever's watching this and needs to hear it. So some of you are wondering, why aren't they listening? Or why aren't they responding? So let's see why, and let's see what you should do. Why aren't they listening, responding, etc.? Okay, and what do you do? Okay, so they are trying to figure out what they want. Indecision. The Queen of Cups is a good card, but she's sitting with that cup here and she's thinking, I don't know. So, time is important when you have these sorts of things, depending on time in the question. So if it's a big question, you give them a little more time. But if it's a simple question and they're vacillating on it, that's your answer. They don't know. So give them time, but not too much time. And this person may be a little sensitive or shy and or uncertain about how to express themselves. So you can also ask yourself, instead of words, are they demonstrating it? Do they show up the way that I need them to? And, if they're not communicating in actions or in words, that's actually a form of communication. So absence of communication is communication. They're either unready, unsure, or unwilling. But if they just need a little time, give them time, because this is a kind card and it is upright. Okay? And again, it depends on the intensity of the question. What do? Ask. But it's like the last and final. And this is very much akin to what I was talking about with the Queen of Swords in the reverse position. You're not going to go at it just with the question. Check in. What's up? How you doing? Follow through on some things that might be going on in their life. Legitimately connect on a heart level. See what vibe you're picking up on. Are they anxious? Are they normal? Are they hedging? That is going to help you understand what's going on beneath the surface. And then ultimately ask for what it is that you need. Just say, hey, I'm really sorry to bother you about this, but I need to know. What's your decision on this? Don't assume. I think it is worth one final conversation. And then if they still say, I don't know, just say, that's okay. Then I'm going to move forward on this. It's clear that you're not quite ready yet. I'm going to go forward on this. But if they do know and they just need a little support and they say, I'm scared, you can say, well, I'm scared too. Let's just figure this out together. It could just be emotions, heavy emotions. Okay? They may not want to let you down. However, if they don't feel the mutual attraction, if this is love or if this is like a job interview or something like that, and the hesitation is consistent, then it's not right. You need to feel the mutual spark. So if the spark isn't there, focus on something else, okay? All right. Now let's just look at what you need to know in this moment. And let me know if you like it when I do just pure mediumship. I don't always do that in the moment, but I was feeling plugged in today, so we're doing that. All right, so let me just see what you need to know, not what you want to know. Anything that Spirit wants to sort of like put out there on the table. Literally. Past, present, future. Okay, so what we see here with the Queen of Wands is you have what it takes. She's upright here. So all that's important this week is that you continue to develop on whatever it is that you plan to do. She is a boss, but she's also imagination personified and passion personified. Are you passionate about this? Are you opening your heart and mind to things? If so, you're exactly where you need to be. You don't have to build this alone. The Hierophant is a building card, and I love the youthful energy on this one. I'll bring this one close to the camera. So this is a young Hierophant. There are no acolytes around him. There are no keys. All of that is within you. You have the potential to open any door. You can partner with someone else or multiple someone else's, and the path is already there. It's just a matter of laying the first brick or stone, and that's all you need to do this week. You don't have to build. Rome wasn't built in a day, neither does whatever it is that you're working on. It's not going to be built in a day either. You need to take your time on that, okay? Now we have the Page of Cups. It's in reverse. So there's still some heavy emotions for some of you. Talk it out. Pages do what? They talk, they communicate. If you don't want it, say you don't want it. I like the little pig that's flying in the corner. We are going now back to our special topic. All of this or greater. Sometimes pigs do fly. Sometimes amazing and outrageous things can happen. Open yourself up to the miracle of opportunity this week in particular. Part of this is thinking to yourself, I deserve this, I want this, I can do this. Yes, yes, yes. But if you don't want it, then figure out what you do and set it into motion, folks. Okay? Let's meditate for a couple moments here, and then we'll pull a final card. Okay? So, I mentioned the importance of meditation. I'll help you today for like 2 minutes, and then you can do some of this on your own too. Take a moment, please. Close your eyes. I'm looking at crystals as I close my eyes. Like it's almost like I'm on a beach made of crystals. So maybe we'll go with that. Let's imagine that you're in a safe little spot, like a nice soft rug. But all around you are these quartz crystals, reflecting light in all dimensions and directions. And so one of the things that Spirit wants to convey as we're meditating is the multifaceted approach that it might take to do what you need to do, but also the fact that you are more than one thing. I also believe we are in multiple directions, dimensions all at once. So see yourself as infinite, not constrained by what was, what is, or what you think might be. We're really going into the multitude of opportunities out there. So take a deep breath. Imagine that the sun is shining down on this sea of diamonds around you. And as you lay down on a perfectly soft bed or rug protected from those crystals, you're tapping into it. You can reach out and touch the crystalline surface. And I can feel it in my own hands as I'm doing that. Imagine that you are starting to siphon this beautiful, it's really like bright white light into your body, into your hands. Scoop a little bit of that into your heart center. Or you can imagine that you are starting to move it around with your hands, and you can also move this over your body. Let's do that. Imagine that you're starting at the crown chakra. Whatever thoughts there are old, complicated, or cluttered, let the crystalline energy, the bright white energy, clarify it. Whatever doesn't need to be there, you can just push it out to the side, but keep the crystal white light right over the crown chakra. Open it up to receive more insight from your higher self, the 1,000-petal lotus there. Put your hands over your third eye. And let's welcome in insight from the highest realms. Continue to connect with the white light and crystals around you. You can even place one of those diamond crystals right there on the third eye so that it can see all directions, dimensions for the highest good, now and always. Imagine that you're also turning that clockwise and the crystal spinning to open up the third eye. Let's put another crystal on the throat, and while we're at it, let's make sure there's one on the crown. But the one on the throat, let's imagine that that's helping you amplify the most positive aspects of your communication. I can, I will, I am. All of this or greater. I am worthy, I am ready, I am willing. All of these positive things. Let's place it on the throat and let's push out all the other fearful, doubtful energy that often gets in there. The frogs in our throat. Let's get rid of that stuff. We don't need it anymore. Let's put another crystal on the heart. The crystal on the heart is opening you up to receive love, abundance, and happiness in the highest forms beyond your wildest dreams for your highest good as a blessing from the divine. Releasing any heartache, releasing any sort of lowered energy that we hold in there from pain, discomfort, setbacks. This is the past. We don't need it anymore. Connecting with that diamond energy, let's move it to to our stomach, to basically the solar plexus where we hold our power. Think of all the power cards that came through. Strength, Empress, the Magician, the Queen of Swords. I've missed a few. The Hierophant. We had a lot of power cards. You've got all of that and then some, but I really want you to imagine that you have potential. Let's take this crown, not this crown. Let's take this solar plexus energy, and if anyone's plugged in there that doesn't need to be, let's just gently take the cords out. They don't need to be there anymore. You don't even need to know who it is, but let's just unplug all of these cords from all of the chakras and clear it out, like dusting the energy. And now moving to the to basically your second chakra where you express yourself creatively. Sensuality, creativity, needs, wants, desires. Let's also allow for that to be amplified so that you can get your happy ending. You can get what you want. You can express your needs, wants, and desires. And then the crown chakra, I keep saying the crown, it wants to come through. Actually, let's connect the crown to the root. So let's pull all of this positive energy all the way to the root chakra, and let's ground it into the planet. Put your feet or your hands on the floor, and now imagine that you are connecting with the core of the earth, that you are steady, firm, connected, also energized from that core, from that root as well. Everything is connected, everything lights up. It's this bright, white, crystalline being. Just sit in your power for a moment and think anything is possible. Gently come back into your body. I'd like you now to focus on a final question. Let's see what Spirit has to say. Slow down. So we have the Eight of Wands in the reverse position. With the Eight of Wands in the reverse position, there's a lot going on, maybe too much. If you asked a yes or no, it's a yes, but slow down. You don't have to do this alone. Connect with others. Check in to see what they're doing. Make sure there's no duplication of efforts. It's already happening. This is a card of action. Usually they're flying through the sky. So it's happening. It will happen. It has already happened. Just kind of like it's all there. All you need to do is show up. That's really the big takeaway here for this. But yes, I see productivity. Yes, I see opportunity. But maybe too much rushing, too much pushing. Let's do less of that. And that, my friends, is the final question. So let's take a couple moments here. First of all, so good to see everybody. I'm finally feeling back to normal. It took me about, did I get here? I flew in Thursday of last week, so it's been about a week and a half. I'm enjoying getting settled, getting acclimated. It takes time, so we'll talk more about that maybe in a future live stream, but there's just a lot to take in, and this is something like when you step into anything new, whether it's being a new parent, new marriage, new living situation, new country, don't make any decisions, I would say, for at least a few weeks because you're just getting your footing. So step into newness with a sense of patience. That's why Seven of Pentacles keeps coming through. Don't expect any or everything to happen overnight. If I could kind of give you one piece of advice. By the way, sign up for my newsletter if you like more news and information. Hit the like and subscribe if you enjoy what you see here. Later, you can go to my website. From there, you can give back with PayPal. You can book a private reading, or you can follow me on social media. Right here, right now, you can give back with super stickers, super chat, and memberships. Let's see what Apollo's doing. Oh my gosh, he's asleep. Hey, buddy. Yes, who's a good boy? I know you're hidden off camera. Yes, you are. I'll have to do a different view where we can see a little bit more. He's like, Dad, I just need my privacy and my space, so leave me alone. So we'll do that. All right. I'd like to take a couple moments right now to give some gratitude for everybody that showed up. Thank you for just being a part of this, for giving me patience, for being patient as I needed a month to not do monthlies. It's like the first time in 11 years that I didn't do them. So I just needed that break as I was getting settled. All right. I'd like to give back. I'd like to say thank you, rather, to those that give back a little bit more today. So give me a moment here, and I'm going to specifically say thanks and give shout outs to everybody that participated. Welcome back to Dakota. It was good to have you here moderating today. And now let's see who gave back today. All right, we'll start at the beginning here. Colette, thank you so much for being a member and for your sticker. Casey and Bloom, same thing to you. Thanks for the sticker and for the membership. 2 in a row, in fact. I appreciate you. Cindy7210, thank you very much for your membership and for your sticker. Colette, I think this was the second one. Thank you again. PJ Good, always good to see you. Thanks for the sticker and membership and always showing up every week. Amithaba, good to see you. 27 months. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Glad you were able to make the live today as well. I kind of like these evening ones. For me, it's evening. I was always used to 9:30 and now it's like 6:30. It's a nice shift for me. So anyway, good to see all of you. PJ, thank you again. Let's see, Amy O, good to see you. Thank you very much for your sticker. Sorry, Apollo's choking in the background. Ignore that. PJ, thank you again for your sticker and for membership. Colette, thanks again. PJ, thank you again. Sugar Shaker, good to see you again. Thank you for the many months and years of membership. I appreciate you and I appreciate the sticker. Wonderbar, thank you for the sticker. Celebrating, get out of town, 58 months of membership. Hello from the UK. Well, hello right back at you, Lorna. Good to see you. Jamie, good to see you, my friend. Thank you for being a member and for your sticker. Sending lots of love to you as well. Colette, thanks again. PJ, thank you again. Welcome everybody that got a sticker from me. Good to have you on board. PJ, thank you for all of the stickers today and helping us meet that goal of 30. Free BD, thank you so much for your sticker and for being a very long time member. I appreciate that and I see that. Colette, thank you again. And for all of your support, I appreciate it. PJ, thank you again. Handangul, Taksamika, thanks for the sticker and membership. PJ, thanks again. Colette, thanks again. I really do appreciate the multiple stickers. We wouldn't get to the goal without them. Sage Petal, thank you for being a newish member and also for the contribution today. PJ, thank you again for all of your very kind contributions. Mel M8, thank you so much for your sticker and for being a member. I appreciate it. Okay. Georgia, thank you very much for your sticker and membership. PJ, thank you again. Colette, thank you again. MPS Lehman, thank you for the sticker. Much appreciated. Jackie, thank you so much. You've been here for a long time. I appreciate the sticker and the membership. PJ, you're a rock star. You and Colette, lots and lots of contributions. I see it here. Thank you. Marjorie, thanks for the sticker. Marianne, good to see you again. Taksamika, thank you very much for the sticker and for the membership. Josephine, I appreciate you. Thanks for that sticker. Georgia, thank you again. I think I saw a few from you, but thanks for being a member and for the sticker. Marianne, thank you again. Taksamika. The BAMs, good name. I'm glad that you enjoyed this today. And yeah, it's been rough. Like last week, I was very tired. I'm okay today. I feel normal again. Actually, this is probably one of the best live streams in a long time. I'm always curious too, like what effects locations have on you. Spain seems to be very positive with me. So, in fact, I feel very grounded. So, yay for that. I'm glad for multiple reasons. But thanks for the sticker and for being a member for a long time. Gigi, thank you so much for your sticker. Georgia, thank you again for gifting a membership and being a member. Let's see. Oath to the Most High. Thank you so much for your kind sticker. Sage Petal, thanks for being a member and gifting a membership. Lorna, thanks for being a member and gifting a membership. PJ, right back at you. Multiple stickers today, being a member, gifting a membership. Jeannie, good to see you. Thanks for being a very long time member and for the sticker. Donna Green, same to you. Thanks for being a long time member and for the sticker. And Rob, buddy, good to see you. Thanks for all of the above, being a long time member, for a very generous sticker, and for just being here for all the years. I do appreciate it. And that, my friends, is everything. Let's see if we can't get Apollo a little bit more in view, give him a little pat. I'm sure he's getting excited about a potential walk. Hey, buddy. What if I were to pull you out so everybody could see you more? Yes, good boy. He's like, Dad, I just want to be here, but I'll give you a couple licks. He's a very happy puppy, and he's adjusting just fine. All right, folks, that's everything for today. Have a great day ahead or a great evening, depending on where you're at in the world. From my heart to yours, sending you lots of love and light. Thank you so much for everything. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.